Good evening, everyone, and welcome to the second day of the PEL Contenders Promo here in Phase 3. I am Toby, and the name is Toby, whatever you want to say. And as you can see here, this is our leaderboard from yesterday's 4 games. Rewop sitting in first place, and that's actually despite the fact that I don't believe they had a single win yesterday. So pretty interesting that they managed to seize that place. Existence down in 4th place. I'll get in on them in just a moment, but we have 5 teams that has broken into those 30 points. Stella, Team Spirit, and HeartShift sitting just below, and then there's a bit of a gap from 8th place down to Boris at 19 points. So a bit of a spread right now. LXG, don't get confused by their 0 points. They did not play at all yesterday, so it wasn't because they had a 0 point day. They actually didn't play at all. And wow, we're going straight into game number 1. I wasn't expecting us to start that fast, but that's great, I guess. All ready and live and good to go. And one fun stat that I want to share with you guys is that in terms of player stats of yesterday's games, we have 3 players that all have 11 kills. It's Saban from TonyTeam, it's mageBane from Rewop, and then it's mnlt from Level, but I think its in-game name is actually something else. I'm looking around trying to find it. But in any case, they all have 11 kills. But we have Quick from Existence. He's 3 kills lower. He only has 8 kills, but he has twice the amount of damage done yesterday that anyone else did, or at least almost. So in Titan first, with 11 kills, we have Saban, mageBane, and mnlt. They all have around 1,000 damage. One has a little lower, one has a little less. Quick has 8 kills, but 2,078 damage. So did a ton of damage yesterday, but just weren't really able to convert all that damage into kills, unfortunately. Now let's see his first game. Sanhok, of course, same format as we saw yesterday. And I'm curious to see where this one is headed, because we don't have anyone up on the mountain yet. I'm looking over towards the okay, we're going East Island. I was looking up towards the northwestern island where you can see Radoga up towards potentially that mountain, but no one was up there, unfortunately. I guess you can say the circle didn't go over there either, because that would have caused some absurdly predictable circles. And well, I mean, this one is probably going to be rather predictable too, but not so predictable that we can't have a little bit of wiggle room in terms of where we're gonna see the end game. TonyTeam, they're getting looted up. They were pretty decent yesterday. They had themselves a really good win on Erangel, which kind of threw them up into the standings. So they're currently sitting in 2nd place, but they only have 10 placement points overall, and a lot of that comes from, I believe, 1 or 2 games. Of course, they only played 4, so they just had 2 games that really didn't work in their favor. They had that one game where they jumped into school on Erangel, and they got well, pretty honestly, completely butchered there. And also, if you guys didn't know, as you can see, it was I was hoping it was only yesterday, but LXG, they're not playing today either. We only have 15 people on our server. It's not that 4 people got killed before we saw anything in the game, but LXG are not playing. If you're confused. You're confused by that. And also, now that we're starting the tournament, guys, can we spam some love for the teams that we support? I don't mind which team you support. You can support any of the teams playing. You could even support teams that aren't playing today. But just show some love for the teams that you're supporting. And I'm sure that they'll go back in the button and see it and love the spam of whichever logos or slogans you may have that they are playing. And as I just said, I have no idea why LXG isn't playing. It's beyond me to have any knowledge on that. So we'll see. We'll see huge potential. They had a decent day yesterday. They're sitting in 5th place overall. 18 kills. 18 kills, but they actually set in 3rd place overall in terms of placement points. So they were able to get to those late games. Just weren't really able to capitalize and bring home the wins when they had to. There are quite a few teams up for grabs here that could potentially make it through. And also, of course, we have to keep in mind, have to remember, guys, it's all about, I mean, yes, it's good to win the tournament, or this stage, I guess. It's amazing. But technically, all that matters right now is to get top 8. It doesn't matter it doesn't matter, don't get me wrong, but it doesn't matter too much if you win or you get 8th place. All the points are going to be reset coming into the next stage anyway. So just make it to top 8, and then you'll have a good position, I guess you can say, to make your way into or they have an even position, but then you'll have a chance to make your way through. Markelov and the guys from intruders. They have heard mageBane, I think. Looking at the way they're playing, you can see how mageBane is crouch walking. Nailcorp up on the top, he's playing rather safe as well. And mageBane, well, he's looking around, but he's just been spotted, and that's crucial information for nailcorp to give it to his teammates. Not enough damage done to get the knock, but mnlt is there, and mageBane is going to, I would assume, go down. Yeah, I don't think any of the guys from Rewab is going to be close enough to help him. That's unfortunate. mageBane with the iron sights on his QBZ. Of course, they'll get looted, but they want to make sure that there's no opponents anywhere nearby. Extends Mikhailovich and the Boris team. They're going to be making their way over towards that eastern island. I mean, rather get safely across, and then you can start fighting. No reason to start engagements in the middle of all of that. Just had to reach out to the admins real quick. Now we're back. MJ Esports holding this position on the west side of Quarry. You can see Beami and Stella. They're looking to, well, potentially engage on it. I'm not quite sure what their plan is exactly, but they do have a chance of making a play down towards them. Whether they commit to it or not, though, we won't quite know. Beami. You see them looking down in the direction, but they don't really want to commit hard commit inside the building. Mini was tagged once, but I don't think they're going to make much more of it. It's not, I mean, they're not exactly in a bad position themselves anyway. It's no reason to over-aggress into a compound and then potentially lose player. We saw that happen yesterday where MOLNMAN on Miramar got kind of caught off from his teammates. He got pulled up on by a full team, and all of a sudden they ended up dying early because they went aggressive into a fight where there wasn't a whole lot they could do from there. Now let's see, Trucky does find Mini, so that's actually a team from the other side, third partying on that one. That's unfortunate, and that might mean, of course, Stella didn't actually get a knock on towards MJ Esports, so they don't necessarily know for a fact that it was one of the guys in that building that got knocked, but we'll see. It seems like they are indeed looking around here. Still, Mini has been abandoned by his teammates. Now Stratus comes back. We'll see if we can get the rest up towards him. Dre shooting. Oh my lord, Stratus, he got chip baited into death. Dre is shooting. Canted side QBU. That's not something you'd see too often. And now Stratus goes, guys, I failed at resing one player. Can you come rest us as well? Now both Min and Stratus here, and Najala is just sitting on the other side going, well, you know what, guys? I think you guys are probably dead. As you can see here, Jambawe and Stella and the whole team, they're pushing in. Maybe they didn't know off of the first knock that it was Mini who was here, but the second sure did give them the info. Sellis gets the flush and towards Stratus, and that's 2 kills to start off the day for Stella. Stella didn't really have the best day yesterday either, but they did manage to get themselves, I believe it was a 6th place, but with 16 kills on a wrangle. One hell of a dominant game for them, and that's pretty much not the majority of their points, but quite a big portion of the points that they had coming into today. So a 0-point game, I believe, on Miramar, and today, of course, they're looking to get even more than what they were able to accomplish yesterday. I think if you can average 5 points per game, I think you're gonna be fine. I mean, you're not gonna win. I would assume that the winners get much more than 5 points per game on average. But if you can average 5 points per game, then I think you're gonna be good in terms of qualifying for the next stage. I would assume it's gonna be 36 games. Yeah, that sounds about right. That sounds about right. 30 would be 300, that'd be 180 points. Yeah, probably even lower than that, to be honest. If you can get 150 points. Probably less than that too. I don't even know why I'm counting it up that high. Quick math, I'm gonna say 50 points. If you can get over 50 points, I think you will be in top 8. Over 16 games. That should be doable, I would assume, but then again, of course, you never know. But 50 points should, I would assume, keep you in the clear. FBI, they're pushing up the hill. We'll see the second phase closing on in, and of course, we know with this circle popping where the next one will go. We haven't really seen where the second circle went. I haven't had that much time to look at the map, but of course there's a map stream. So so if you want to have the map stream up, you can do !map in the chat, and then you can watch the map as well. Does seem like with it, you can kind of see the white line crossing through the minimap. You can sort of tell on that where the circle has gone. Sando looking over towards Kowo, pushing further up the hill. HeartShift, they're trying to maneuver around. I think they've seen, we also heard shots fired just before, I think they've seen that there are people in this compound. And Boris, well, I mean, if they don't want to get contained in here, they might want to start running up the hill themselves, so they don't, like, if they allow for HeartShift to push all the way around, like get all the way around them, that would be making things very difficult. FBI of Ferrari Breach, they're in the blue. They're running. They're close to the circle, but they're running straight up towards this exact area we saw just before, with both HeartShift and Boris in it. So they could potentially be looking at a fight out in the blue. And then we have Crazy Team, or Crazy Gamers, whatever you want to call them. A Crazy Crew actually is their name. Sorry, Crazy Crew. They're in a position from which they're currently sitting at 5 points over 4 games. Of course, that's not optimal by any means, but they need to start racking up some points. After today's games, we'll be halfway through the first stage, I guess you can say. So after that, we should have somewhat of an outline of saying, well, I mean, if we cut the 8th point and then we time 2 by that, and then we should have somewhat of an idea of where we can expect them to be. And I would assume that the bottom, like 8th place, 9th place, is going to be somewhere around 25 points today. That would be my guess. We'll see. Of course, they're sitting at, I think, 9th place had 19 points coming into this game, so we're already lifting the bar pretty high. But we'll have to see. We didn't really have that one team yesterday that just dominated everything, so therefore the points have been spread out pretty evenly. Level running up, they need to get out and away from the water, but huge potential. They're sitting on the edge of the circle, and clearly they don't want to go anywhere, as you can see. It's going to be up to Level to potentially force a fight towards him. Guess who? Ooh, caught out mid-air. moynick-sando finds him. Spotted at a distance. moynick-sando able to get in and heal back up. It's actually the kill's going to get stolen. And we just talked about the guys from Crazy Crew, how they need points. That's a way to get them. To steal the kills from your opponents on the other side. That's a pretty nifty way of being able to rack up some more points. We'll see. Proof. He's still in the compound. Just panoramically looking over Proof and seeing what he's seeing. What we can tell is there's a lot of people in that direction, but obviously that's also towards the circle, so it kind of makes sense, right? Level, they're gonna run up. A quiet run along the shorelines. Use that river as kind of a safety net to wrap all the way around. Huge potential. Get up on that mountain, and then you can look down. I mean, on the northern side, you can look down towards boot camp. And on the south and the east, you can start considering when you have to make that crossover. And it ain't going to be easy, of course, but should at least be very doable. Should be very doable. Kowo and HeartShift, they've made their way into the circle. They've actually made their way over towards Quarry, where we saw Sellis sit just before. But they, of course, have swapped over to the compound on the left side of that. And again, we haven't really seen the circle at all yet, so I don't know exactly where we're headed. But as you can see, the southeastern side, at least, of the circle is down towards the, down towards the southeast and down towards Quarry. Straight south. You can see the minimap right now. Everybody is hugging compounds. Look at the minimap in the corner. We can see 6 teams right now. 6 different teams that all play compounds. I would assume that there's plenty of room in the middle for people to go pretty much wherever they want. But I can't really confirm it because we haven't had our eyes too much on the map. Fine is trying to see if he can find some opponents on his side. They've already lost 2 players, keep that in mind. They lost one really early, and now guess who went down just before as well. So tough start for them. And well, Team Spirit. Oh, thank you. Here's the map. As you can see, compounds being played all over the place. Circle's gonna shift, and oh, that's a shift we don't see too often. I kind of like this shift. Normally, it always goes over towards the compound that TYT or TonyTeam are seeing, but this one shifts back towards Wildcats and Team Spirit, and that's actually a little interesting. We don't see this shift too often. They normally always go over towards the east, but this one's going to be fun because the northern side is completely contested. It's completely contested, so you have boot camp up there alongside the water, so that's going to be a spot that anyone will want to go to. And on the south, we have Existence and Boris trying to fight things off. Perfect God finds himself a knock. The last bullet in the chamber does get reloaded. Can't really seem to find himself any more damage done in that regard. Sando is going to take him down on the top. Witty is trying to push up the hill. They're getting shot up from behind. Too fortunate for them, there's only 2 players and MJ alive. So it's not going to be a guaranteed kill by any means just yet. Perfect God gets spotted out, manages to get behind the building safely. And Witty comes over to take him down, so that was fortunate. Sando able to get healed up as well. Now Trucky is all by himself further down the hill. So Existence, despite having so much damage done yesterday, can't really seem to find a good start to this one. 4 teams as well. Look at the minimap. 4 teams practically on top of each other down here. Jambawe got a double knock with a nade, but Beami and Sellis are down. And I don't see there being any rests coming in for them, unfortunately. You see Jambawe up and above throwing nades over, but Crazy Crew are pushing down in this direction too. Beami and Stella, they're starting to fall apart. Existence, the first team to get eliminated, and this is going to be so hard. Jambawe, last remaining player on his team, has a full 4-man strong Crazy Crew up and above them, and they're in a perfect spot to start racking up points. He finds one, gets the flush in there as well, stands up. They have no idea where he is. Jambawe misses a few, misses too many, and he's gonna go down. Stella out in 14th place. Tough game for them. Unfortunately, weren't able to connect the shots needed on towards Algae. Could potentially have been more damage done because it seemed like Crazy Crew, they weren't really at all aware of his positioning. HeartShift spots out Myrtle, and there's so many fights escalating on the edge right now. Very, very difficult area to force these fights into. Sammy pushing up the hill, knows there's players real close. Don't want to over-aggress on this, of course, whatsoever. Fine is on the northern side, has to make the run, and as we can see, their damage and fights escalate. I mean, there are literally fights happening everywhere right now. Watch out, you're gonna go down to the blue, nothing a whole lot more he could do. Boris, they have to play inside the circle, but they have to cross as well. And then Arco, he's gonna go down. Nihana's still miles out in the blue tower. Villo is out there too. And Marco, last player on his feet, tries to make the run up. He's going to go down as well, though. Ferrari Breach will find themselves eliminated, unfortunately. TonyTeam on the northern side. They have the hill. Now they have to push further down, though. And they're getting chased by the blue and 2 solos in the blue, who are both trying to make their way in. But as you can see, Nihana's, that's a lot of damage being done by this blue circle, and it's not going to be easy for them to make that run whatsoever. Extends down south, has made his way in. He's somewhat safe for now. Fine. Proning down in the water, I would assume. Trying to stay alive down there. Markello is staying put on the east side too. AUG in the hands of... no one right now. It's in the crate. Nihanas does go down. Was found in the blue, unfortunately for him. Tarvillo has been running out here for a while. Just exactly gets the first hit off. He is going to be getting into the circle behind the entirety of TonyTeam. And Saban, I mean, I don't think there's any way he's expecting an opponent to be up here. Not at all. I have no idea if Tarvillo still his first days up. But, oh, that's actually Wildcat spotting one out. Extends, he's spotted by like 5 different teams, so he's mostly going to die. Saban does get seen as well. Tarvillo sees him. The blue chunks him down low, but Saban is low as well. He needs to start moving. He needs to get inside the circle. Blue. No, he gets knocked by the blue. Saban hadn't even taken any damage for his opponent, but he goes down to blue, probably confusing Tarvillo quite a bit. And then he's going to get himself eliminated because of it. Markello pushing up towards the Wildcats. Team Proof is there on this side as well. He's going to get the first knock on towards 1. Tries to shoot even more, but not able to get more than the knock in. Didn't connect the bullets on player number 2. Further behind the back. Nade's thrown forward, but they have no idea. They have no idea where their opponents are. Istanbul Wildcats positioned pretty well with the, well, I mean, with a little cover they have available. BSD finds 1. Markello and Proof gone down. And now it's going to be all up to XKeevo to get away from here. In the meantime, Fine is prone out in the field. You can kind of prone out in the water where you can't really be seen. It's a weird spot to be in, but you can kind of prone in that water. I don't know how it works exactly, but that's possible. So he's prone down there. You see him prone along the water. This game is really going from being everything under control to being rather confusing. TXC or ToxicPlayers, they had all the eyes down in the compound. They played super smart, but then as soon as the first knock came in on towards LaZheSanzhar, it just escalated out of proportion. And now, fortunately, I mean, LaZheSanzhar is crawling in the open all the way back to the compound, literally crawling. He's knocked and he has crawled 100 meters back to the compound through the open, and no one's punished him because everybody in this game are down on the southern side. Alrein goes down. Zolters is there. enoootuuuk goes down as well. Then all of a sudden, Zolters is by himself. Seconds later, Ojala and Flash has wiped out his entire team. And all of a sudden, he's going to go down too. Ojala finds himself a third. He was a... No, he had Juno. I was just going to say it was a solo player, but nope, he does have one teammate up on his feet. Ojala is going to go down, but he managed to do a lot of damage before he was in the end taken down. Juno finds a crate and the AOG alongside it, but can he get away from here? That's the question. You can see Team Spirit knows exactly where he is. They want to hold him off, but I'm not sure how that's going to happen. Oh, Febrino finds him at a distance. TonyTeam secures one more kill, and they should have racked up quite a few at this point. Team Spirit have a perfect chance of holding this one off. They need level. They need to cross the road somewhere, and they're well committed to this compound down here. Iffy taken down. XKeevo went down to the nade node. So far traded 1 for 1. Plasma has gone down. Moonlight's gone down as well. Spirit are doing everything in their power to make sure this push does not come through. Unfortunately for level, as you can see, they're getting shot at from the side too, not able to cross over. Asmadeyka finds him on this side, and yes, now all by himself. What can you do from here, buddy? Spots out the last player, but it's not going to happen either. Asmadeyka secures a double, gets the wipe out, an unfortunate and important one for him too, because he's now the last player alive in his team. And I like the way that Istanbul Wildcats are splitting this one up. nlQuickl down, but look at the amount of control that Istanbul Wildcats have taken on the west side of the road. They've kept 2 players over, but the 2 players that was in the compound on the west side have pushed up into the hills. They want to have more vision. They want to be able to look over the compound and keep them safe. BST is playing from above. Only issue here is that if he gets knocked, I am not sure there's any way that the rest can come in from the teammates. TYT, TonyTeam, executed down. Top 3 placement guaranteed alongside 10 kills. Great play by them. And Fine, despite having been a solo player for pretty much the entire game, has somehow made his way into top 3. He's been sneaky peeky literally the entire game, and now he's in top 3. All the fights, literally all the fights, happened on the south side of the circle. There was the water, there was boot camp in the north with nobody up there for the longest time, and now Fine has to make his way in. Oh, that's a nade over towards Fine. He should go down. Nope, Febrino taken out by Apocalypse. Fine stays alive for longer. He is going to get shot at. That Molotov is on point too, and Genso finds the kill on towards him. So now 2 teams left remaining. I believe it's 4 kills for Wildcats and 10 over. There must be 11 kills at this point over in this direction of TonyTeam. They're pushing forward. Oh, that's crucial info to get. Apocalypse managed to get one as LaZheSanzhar actually finding him, and Istanbul Wildcats wins the game. What a good performance by them. Sure, they had the compound, but they needed to split out in the end. They played it well. They used all the info to their advantage and managed to find the kills needed in order to get home the win. 3 very, very different teams in top 3. We had Istanbul Wildcats, had the circle at the compound for the longest time, so they didn't really have to go anywhere. Then we had TonyTeam, who was literally fighting their way through the open for the last 5 circles. Like, they were just running and fighting and shooting everyone. And then we had Fine on the northern side, who... I keep saying Fine, I don't know why. But I think it's because we have Mine and Fine. So it's Mine and Fine. Fine was a solo player on the northern side pretty much the entire game. And he honestly couldn't really do anything but what he did. I mean, he managed to get 5 points off of the placement. I don't think he had any kills in the end. But nonetheless a good game for the guys. And of course now it's like, Sanhok. We're done. No more Sanhok. At least not for now. There could be more Sanhok coming in. We won't know, but at least for now, look at that double tap. And as Magic goes down, they knew exactly where to expect him. Apocalypse found Febrino up on the edge of the circle too, kind of caught out in the open there. And then Apocalypse, so fortunate, honestly, so fortunate that PagyrA was shooting below, because he kind of got caught out in the open there for a second. Very, very, very interesting game. And Istanbul Wildcats, as you can see, winners of your first game. I'm curious to see where that's going to put them on the leaderboard. Of course, we will know in just a moment. We'll know in just a moment. I think we'll go from here over to seeing some more stats. That's at least how it worked yesterday. I don't really have any info on how all these overlays work. I just kind of go off of what we see. But I think we'll get to see some more overlays in just a second. I just know that whenever the music comes on, that's when we have a break. And of course, if you guys have any questions, do feel free to ask. But we can see here the scoreboards from this game. Again, LXG not playing. That's why we have 15 instead of 16 teams. And huge potential and extends. Both teams that were sitting in top 5 coming into this game, 0-point games for both of them. So that's of course going to take a toll on their lead. Everything is going to get pulled a little more together. And then up in the top, TonyTeam and Istanbul Wildcats tying out at 16 points. One had 6 kills and 10 placement points, and one team had the other way around. So they're going to be tied up there for first place on the game. And then Boris, 6 kills, no placement points. But on the back foot, we have all the points Rewap managed to get was those placement points. So they get 5 points on the game. And, well, in total, that sits them at 7th place of that match. But yes, you can see 16 games are to be played in total. And if you guys are confused with the format, either you can go on to PUBG Esports and find it in there, or I can tell you that these guys are currently trying to get into the top 8. Top 8 is going to go through for the next round. And then, of course, when it all comes down to it, they're playing for a spot at the PEL Contenders for the season to come, or for the phase to come, I guess you can say. But that, my friends, is going to be game number 1. I'm going to go over to a short break, then I'll be back and ready in just a moment. 6 kills for him. Great way to start the day. We're going to take a short break. See you guys real soon.